So it says state the slope and y-intercept and sketch the graph of the graph of each line. Wow. Okay. So in order to find the slope and y-intercept, I've got to solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides of my equal sign, and I get negative 2y equals negative 5x minus 10. Divide by negative 2, and y is going to equal 5 halves x plus 5. So my slope is 5 over 2, and my y-intercept is 5. So on my graph, I'm going to start at 5. And my slope says to go up 5, but I can't because there's not 5 above it. So I'm going to go down 5 and back 2. So down 5, back 2, down 5, back 2. And I can still do that because when I draw my line, sort of, my line is still positive. You can tell that because from left to right, it's still going in an upwards motion. So my graph is positive. Okay. So for the second one, I'm going to do the same thing, add 2x to both sides. Divide by 3, and y is going to equal 2/3 x plus 2. So my slope is 2/3. My y-intercept is 2. I'm going to start at 2, and I'm going to go up 2 over 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, down, 1, 2, 3, 3, beautiful. And there's my line, okay? Questions? Is everything okay? Everyone who put an answer in the chat box, awesome job, good job. Nice job, Jalen. Welcome to class. If you have any questions, please ask. Also for those of you, sorry, we have some new people. If you go to Canvas under modules, and I always put the assignments by the date. So if you go to today's date, notes are underneath there, so you can get the notes from that day for today from there, or you can just write down whatever we're writing down. And also, if you want to, you can pick up a already printed out packet of the notes on Wednesdays at the school, or any time before 2 actually at the school in the front entrance. Okay, so we're going to do a few definitions here. So we've got 3 words. They're pretty easy and not too long. The first one is standard form, and standard form says ax plus by equals c, where c is my constant. And standard form is just all the variables are one side of the equal sign and the constants are on the other. That's it. Yeah, they should be there today, Jalen. They've been there since a week before the term started. So I think they have boxes with our names on it. And this one will say Miss Campbell College Prep Math. So it should be there. Okay. Second one is a slope-intercept form. You guys already know slope-intercept form says y equals mx plus b, where m equals my slope. We've talked about this for the last couple days. And b is the y-intercept. Okay? Awesome. The new one we're learning today, well, you guys have learned it before, but we're going to review it today, and we're going to spend a lot of time on it today, is called point slope form. The nice thing about the names of these forms is it kind of tells you what you need for the equation. Slope intercept form, I need the slope and the intercept. Point slope form, I need a point and the slope. Point slope form. So the equation says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x sub 1, where m equals the slope, so m is still my slope. M is always my slope. And x sub 1, y sub 1 is some point on the line. And it can be any point. It doesn't have to be my y-intercept. It can be any point on the line. Any point. Okay? Is there any questions? Do I need to pause for a moment? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, it says, is to find an equation in point slope form of the line having the specified slope and containing the point indicated, then graph the line. So I'm going to write the equation first, and then they're going to have me graph it. So I'm going to use the equation point slope form because they've given me slope and they've given me a point. So I want to use point slope form. Which says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? And it doesn't say how I have to write it. I mean, it doesn't say it needs to be in slope-intercept form. It needs to be in point-slope form. It just says write an equation of the line. So we're going to do it really nice and simple and just leave it in point-slope form. That is an equation. Okay? So here's my slope. Here's x1. Here's y1. So now all I'm going to do is substitute. So I'm going to take out m, and I'm going to put in -4. And take out x1 and put in 1. And take out y1 and put in 2. So I'm just substituting. That's how I'm writing this equation. So I'm going to do y minus y1 is 2. I really don't need the parentheses. Sorry. I'm looking at that going, I don't need those. Equals m, which is -4, times x minus 1. And I'm done. There's an equation for the line that I'm going to draw. Don't need to do anything else because my directions don't say, and they will say later, to put it in slope-intercept form, which means I need to solve for y. But right now I don't have to. I just had to write an equation for the line. Done. Is everyone okay with that? I'm done. I didn't have to do anything else. Okay, so now to graph it, I could solve for y and find my slope and my y-intercept, although we know our slope. I could do that. I don't have to because they gave me a point on the line. What is my point on the line? Well, that's 1, 2. So if I go to that point, 1, 2, that point is on my line. No matter what I do, even if I went to my y-intercept and I did everything I was supposed to do, I found my slope, found my y-intercept, and I went from my y-intercept into my slope, this point would be on that line. So I don't need to do that. I just need to have that point and then my slope. And I know my slope is -4, but it needs to be a fraction. So how do I turn a whole number into a fraction? Divide by 1. So my slope is -4/1. So from that point that I have right now, what I can do is I can go down 4 and over 1 from the point what's given me. Not only from my y-intercept can I do that, as long as I have a point on the line, I can still do that. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3, 4, forward 1, or I could go up 4 and back 1 and find my y-intercept that way. I don't have to find it algebraically. I can find it on the graph. And then draw your line. Ooh, ooh, sorry. Is there any questions about what we just did? We're going to do it again, but I just want to make sure everyone's okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go on since no one's saying anything. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it into my equation, and then I'm going to graph it. So I've got y minus a -4 equals 1/2 times x minus a -2. I can't leave minus a minus there. I have to simplify that part. So I would get y plus 4 equals 1/2 times x plus 2. Okay, so I just want to slide down first. Slide down. Point this out. If my point is positive, positive here, I have positive points. In my equation, I have negative signs, yes? If my points are negative, in my equation, I get plus signs. It's going to be very important when I want to go the opposite direction, when they give me the equation, and I want to pull the information from the equation. You have to remember that fact, okay? So my signs, when I pull them out of the equation, are opposite of what they are in the equation. Okay. So I'm going to start at -2, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my point on the line. And then I'm just going to do my slope up 1 over 2. So up 1 over 2. And I get my y-intercept. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Okay. And there's my line. Okay, questions? Is everyone okay? You guys are so quiet. Okay, your turn. So my slope is -5. It tells me right there it's -5. And here is my point. So I'm going to do y minus 4 equals -5 times x minus 1. Done. That's it. Good job, Orion. Okay, that's all I have to do. That's it. Done. Harrison, does that make sense? Okay. So I have to move out of your picture way so I can see you nodding. Okay. So I'm going to start at 1 positive 4. Wow. 1 positive 4. And I'm going to use my slope that's, my slope is -5 over 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can go at 5. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can't go at 5. Oh, well. We'll put a point there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. 3, 4, 5 over 1. And here we go. And there's my graph. Okay? Awesome. So I think I have a couple more to do. Let's see how many more. Oh, you've got, 2 more to do. So that. Okay, so I've got, let's see. Let's see, what do I have? Y minus 2 equals -4 times x minus 1. Okay? So remember, the first one in the ordered pair is x and the second one is y. Okay? And then I want to graph that, so I'm going to go to 1, 2. Hey, this is the same one. We already did this one, didn't we? Gosh, doing good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. 4 over 1. And draw a line. That's right. There's a couple duplicates on this one that I haven't fixed yet. It's okay. We'll deal with it as we go along. All right. I better write myself a note. Fix 1.6. Okay. All right, and the second one, let's see. So we've got y minus 6 equals -3/2 times x plus 5. Okay, nice. Nice, you guys. Okay, so I've got -5. I'm going to plot it at -5. -5 and 6 should be here. Yep. And then I'm going to go down 3 and forward 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And I can do it as that's as far as I can go. So draw a line. Draw an arrow on the end of the line. Come on. Okay. So how do you guys feel about that? We're gonna find out. I think I can do this. Polls. Okay. Please answer the poll I just sent to you. Okay, that's only 15 of you answered out of 23. Let's go, guys. Come on, where's the rest of you? Going to school?
I'm going to help Eric with some homework and stuff.
Okay. Did you got all your math done?
Yeah.
Do you have all your math done?
I'm going to finish it tonight, and then this weekend I got to finish the stuff I got to catch up on.
Okay.
If I don't listen, already, you know, I'm telling you right, I messed up. I played myself too much. I was focused on different stuff this semester.
Okay.
So if I mess up, I'm going to take it next semester. I'm not going to play around like I would. I don't know, man.
You got to pass that math class.
I know. I will. I'm not making no excuses. I fucked up. So I'm going to make sure.
Okay.
I'll make sure I'll be happy.
All right. Love you too. Bye. Okay, well, it looks like most of you guys kind of understand what you're doing a little bit. You'll do a little bit more in the homework today. So, good job. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next topic. Still doing the same thing. Okay. It says for each point slope equation listed, state the slope and a point on the graph. So they want me to go backwards. What we did before, they gave me slope and a point, and I wrote the equation. Now they're giving me the equation, and they want me to find the slope and a point. So remember my equation, still I'm going to write it again, is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, right? Where m is my slope, and x1, oops, that should be a 1. x1, y1 is my point. So my point is this one and this one. Okay? And remember, we kind of talked about it. It's the opposite sign. We talked about it on the first one. When I put in a positive, a minus a positive is negative, right, in my equation. And when I put in a negative, if my point is negative, I put it in minus, a minus is positive. So on my equation, if it's positive in my equation, my point is going to be a negative. And if it's negative in my equation, my point is going to be positive. So that's just some things to kind of think about. So if I do number 1 and I say, well, what is my slope? Well, my slope is the number right here outside my parenthesis, right? So my slope in this case is 6. Okay? And then my point is going to be, let's do 2 different colors. This one and this one is going to be my point. So my point is going to be 5, 1. Questions? Guys, make sure if you're not understanding something, you ask a question. If you type it in chat, I'm the only one that can see it, so type it. I don't have to say your name when I answer it. Unless I know you, I usually don't. So ask questions, okay? So the second one, again, my slope is the number outside of the parenthesis. So my slope is negative 10 over 3. And then my, sorry. My point is the ones with the x, at whatever's added to the x and the y. So my point in this one is going to be positive 6 and negative 4. This changes, so this is 6 and this is negative 4. Okay? Okay. Just come back in when you can and I'll let you back in. Okay. And then on the last one, again, my slope is the number with the parenthesis, or touching the parenthesis. So slope equals 3/4. And then my point is whatever's I'm adding. So what is my point on number 3? Can someone tell me? Anybody? You can type it into the chat. You can say it out loud, whichever you guys prefer.
Is it negative 50?
It is close to negative 50.
Negative 5, 1, over 1.
It's positive 5, right? Remember? Remember? So this is going to be, losing my pen. This is, if it's negative in here, it comes out as a positive. And then there's nothing being added to the y. So you guys are right, Soraya, and all the guys that answered. It is 0. So it's positive 50. There's nothing being added to that y, so it's 0. Is everyone okay with that?
Ms. Campbell?
Yes, Sonny.
And 1 and 2, are your points, does it matter that...
Did I put them backwards? Yes, it does matter that I put them backwards. Thank you. Oh, my Lanta. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So my point's in 1. X comes first, right? I even said that a bazillion times. So it would be 1, 5. And then here would be negative 4, 6. Hey, guys, I make mistakes all the time, so make sure if you catch me, you tell me, okay? So I'm not perfect at math at all. I like to think I am, but I know I'm not. So thank you for catching me. Very good. Okay, so now you guys do A, B, and C. And then we'll go over them and talk about this. A lot of you guys are doing this great. This is awesome. There's just a few people that are still having issues with the yes, it would be. Good. Awesome. With the points, okay? So my slope is going to be, I think I need something to write with. My slope would be negative 7. And then here are my x and y. And I pull them out and they change sign. So negative 2 becomes positive 2. And positive 1 becomes negative 1. And then on the second one, my slope is here. And then my points are with the x and the y. And positive 8 becomes negative 8. And negative 4 becomes positive 4. And then here's my slope. And I'm not adding or subtracting anything from my x or y. So that would be 0, 0. Okay, questions? Questions on the last one especially. Is everyone okay with that? Okay. So, sorry, I have to start doing these polls, so we're doing another one. It only takes a second or two, so please go ahead and answer this one now. So this is just, can I find the slope and a point on a line when the equation of a line is written in point slope form? So can you do what we just got done? How well do you understand what we just got done doing? If you put the kind of lost or totally lost, can you put in the chat box where you're having difficulties at, please? Or at least tell me why you feel like you're lost. Something. Just tell me something. Please. Okay, we've got 20 of the 23 of you. That's pretty good. Maybe the other 2 or 3 are not here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go on. Nice. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to convert an equation from point slope form to slope intercept form and graph it. So this time we're kind of doing what we did at first. We're putting it into point slope form, but now they want us to put it in slope intercept form. So once I get it in point slope form, I have to solve for y. So we've done it. We've put it in point slope form, which says, I'm going to write it down again, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, right? We're going to use that equation. I told you we're going to use it all day today, right? So I've got my slope. I've got my point. I'm going to substitute it in. I'm going to substitute in for slope m, for x1 and y1. I'm going to substitute all that stuff in. So I've got y minus 5 equals negative 4 times x plus 1, right? Now it says I need to put it in point slope form. Okay? That is point slope form. In slope intercept form. Woo! So I've got to write it in slope intercept form. And then I'm going to graph it. So here I go. Oh, sorry, someone just came into the meeting. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute the negative 4. So y minus 5 equals negative 4x minus 4. And then add 5. So I've got y equals negative 4x plus 1. Now they want me to graph it. So I can either graph it from the original slope and point they gave me, or I can find the slope and y-intercept and graph it from there. However you want to do it, whichever way is easier for you to graph. But I'm just going to go ahead and graph it from here, from this information they've given me, since I want to practice that. Sounds good. So I'm going to go to negative 1, 5. Negative 1, 5. Here's my point that's on the line. And then my slope is, of course, negative 4. And it needs to be in fraction form. So how do I turn a whole number into a fraction? I put a 1 underneath it. So now I'm going to go down 4 and forward 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, forward 1. And we already know my y-intercept is 1 because it's right there in my equation. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. Over 1. And here is my lovely line. Or not so lovely line. Okay. Questions so far? How did I get negative 4? Right here, from right there, that negative 4, is that what you're asking about? It told me my slope was negative 4, so it's right there. Is that the negative 4 you're asking about? The one on below the points. Oh, this one right here? Are you talking about this one right here? The one on, I'm sorry, I'm just not understanding your question. I'm so sorry. Or are you talking about over here on the graph? on the graph? Okay, so I go to my point, right? My point is negative 1, 5. So I graph that point. So I go to negative 1, 5, and I put that point there because it tells me that this point is on the line. Are we okay with that? Okay. And then what we're going to do is my slope is negative 4, and I change that to a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it because it told me my slope was negative 4. Are we okay so far? And then from my point that they gave me, negative 1, 5, what I do is I go down 4 and over 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1 gives me a point. And then I can keep doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. Is that a little better? Did I answer your question anyways? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay. So here we go. We're going to try another one here. Same thing. I'm going to use, good, I have the equation on there. I'm going to write the equation, right? Let's see, y minus 3 equals 1/4 times x minus 0. So I distribute, and I get y minus 3 equals 1/4 x. Add 3, and y equals 1/4 x plus 3. Okay, there's my equation in slope-intercept form. And then I know my slope is 1/4. I don't have to write it as a fraction because it already is. And I'm going to start at the point 0, 3 on my graph. 0, 3, which is your y-intercept already. So I'm going to go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 1 over 4. Why am I going down? That's probably a good question. Okay, let's try that again. And go up 1 since it's positive. Up 1 over 4. Up 1 over 4. Okay. And draw my semi-straight line in. Okay. Is everyone okay now? All right, I think there's one, sorry. Because the directions say that I need to put it in point slope form first. I'm going to do that. So I've got y plus 6 equals 2/7 times x minus 0. Distribute. I get y plus 6 equals 2/7 x. Subtract 6. Y equals 2/7 x minus 6. Okay, so start at my point, which happens to be my y-intercept, 0, -6, and then my slope is already a fraction. So I'm going to go up 2 and over 7, which I think is there. Or I can go down 2 and back 7. So there we go. Okay, questions? You guys are doing great today. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with me and my problems that I have with this today. Okay, next poll. Can you convert an equation from point slope form to slope intercept form? So can I ask those of you, because this is almost exactly like what we did the first time. And you guys, most of you guys said that you got it. So is it the graphing part that you're lost on, or is it the equation part? If you could just write that in, and I don't care. I already know who's answered what, so it doesn't matter. But can you tell me Is it the graphing part you're lost on, or is it the writing the equation part that you're lost on? Just so I kind of know where you're at. The beginning equation or converting it. So the very, starting from the very, very beginning, or solving for y, I guess I should say. Okay. Okay. So solving for y. Okay, okay. Graphing. Okay. So it's kind of a mix. Most people are having problems with the equation, and some people are having problems with the most people are having problems with the equation. Okay. So okay. I'm going to come back. Is it okay if I go on, we finish this, and I come back to that, and then we talk about the equation? Because we're gonna work on the equation again, I promise, and then I can come back to graphing for you in a moment. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Because guess what? Our next thing is we're still talking about writing the equation, so we're still going to be doing the equation also then too. Okay. Good job. All right, you guys. Okay. So the next part, the last part, I think this is our last part. Yeah. Says find the equation of the line containing each pair of points. Write your final answer as a linear function in slope-intercept form. Okay. So up till now, they've always given me the slope and a point, right? So this time they've just given me 2 points. And I can still use point slope form because they've given me a point. If they give me a point, I'm always going to use point slope form. I just have to find slope. Can I find slope if I have 2 points? That's my question to you guys. Can I find slope if they've only given me 2 points? Because they haven't told me what slope is. But in order to use point slope form, I have to find the slope, right? And I can find slope if they've given me 2 points. Remember my, let's get a pen here. My slope is, I subtract my y, so y1 minus y2 over subtract my x's, right? It doesn't really matter if it's y2 minus y1, as long as I'm subtracting 1 point minus the other point, right? So I think we did this, I don't know, we've already done this. This is our 6th lesson. I don't remember all the other 5s, but we've done it before. We've found slope before. So I'm just going to find slope, and then I have slope and 2 points I can choose from. Oh, let's worry about finding slope first. So let's go ahead and find my slope. So I've got m equals, I'm going to do 8 minus 4 over 3 minus 1, which is 4 over 2 or 2. Is everyone okay with that? Questions right there. I'm going to stop right there. Everyone okay? You can do thumbs up in the windows or whatever you need to do, but make sure, I kind of know that everyone's okay. Is everyone okay with that? Awesome. Thanks. Oh, Donna's in the waiting room. Okay. Awesome. So we're okay with slope. Now here comes the equation part. And I think this is where some of you guys were getting confused, right? So we're going to do both. We're going to put it in point slope form. So remember point slope form says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So up until now, they've only given me 1 point. I have 2. Just choose one. It's up to you. You choose one. I usually like to choose the smallest point just because the math is easier on the smaller point. So I'm going to choose this one. It doesn't matter which one you choose because at the end, when I get to slope-intercept form, they will be exactly the same equation because they're both on the same line, so they have to be the same equation. But right now, I just have to choose one of the 2 points. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Is everyone okay with that statement? You can do thumbs up or whatever again. Or type okay, I don't care. Okay, awesome. So just choose one of them. I'm going to choose the smallest one. I told you why I did it, because it's the, I choose it because the math is easier, okay? And who doesn't like easier math, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my point, which I highlighted, and my slope, which I just found, and I'm going to plug it into my point slope form, right? So I have y minus 4 equals 2 times x minus 1. Okay. Is that okay for everyone that was having, is that part of the, was that an issue for everyone who was having an issue? That just sounds so bad. Is everyone okay with putting the equation into point slope form? Okay. So I've got it into point slope form. Now I want to solve for y, right? So I want to get y by itself. And how do I have to do that? This is where I have to do. I have to get rid of the parentheses first on the right-hand side. So I'm going to distribute the 2 through there. Okay? So I get y minus 4. I don't know why I keep making my y's bigger, equals 2x minus 2. So for those of you guys who were having issues with the equation, make sure if I get to a point where you didn't understand, make sure you type something in the chat box. I keep looking up at it, okay? And then to get the y by itself, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. And I get y equals 2x plus 2. And that's it, done. Oh, let's change this one to -5, -3. Okay. All right. Okay. Is everyone okay so far? Those of you that were having issues with the equation, does that make a little bit more sense? I just want to make sure that you guys are doing okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go on to the next one. We're going to do exactly the same thing. I need to find my slope first because they've given me 2 points. So I'm going to do m equals, I don't know which one I want to do first this time. -10 minus a -5 over -6 minus a -3, which is going to be -5 over -3, or 5/3. Okay. Choose a point. Again, I'm going to choose the smaller one. They're both negatives. Sometimes if I have one that's all negatives and one's a positive, I'll choose the positive one. But it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to choose my smaller points again. So the math is going to hopefully be a little easier. So I'm going to choose that point because, I don't know, just because. Okay. So I'm going to put it into slope-intercept form again. So I'm going to put it into this equation first, point-slope form. So I've got y plus 5 equals 5/3 times x plus 3. Okay, I'm going to pause and see if there's any questions. Are we okay so far? Okay. And then I'm going to distribute. So I've got y plus 5 equals 5/3 x. And then 5/3 times 3. Does anyone know what 5/3 times 3 is? Whew. Oh, so sorry. Yes, Jalen, very good. 5/3 times 3 is 5. And how do we get that? Because you guys are going to be like, what? I'm going to take 5 times 3. This is a fraction, right? So can I'm just going to maybe right over here a little bit. So 5/3 is a fraction times 3 is a fraction is 3/1. So I multiply top times top and bottom times bottom. So 5 times 3 is 15 and 3 times 1 is 3 and 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay? You guys can ask questions, please. And then I'm going to subtract 5 And I get y equals 5/3 x, and that's it. Oh, okay. Okay, so there's two more problems. I changed B because it was the same as number 1, so I just changed it a little bit so you would have a different problem to do. I hope that it works. I don't know because I just changed it. Maybe I'll, while you guys are working on A, I'll find one to make sure that it works out nicely so we don't get any weird fractions or anything. That might be something to do that I will work on really quick while you guys are doing before class ends, okay? So again, I want to find the slope. So m equals, and I'm going to go here and here. So -1 minus a -5 over 0 minus 2. That gives me 4 over -2, or -2. And then I'm going to pick a point. Definitely going to pick the one with the 0 in it, because that will make it even easier. So I'm going to do y plus 1 equals -2 times x minus 0. So I get y plus 1 equals -2x. Subtract 1. Y equals -2x minus 1. Questions? Are we okay? Okay. And then, sorry, I just came up with this, the point. We kind of talked about it already. So I have to find the slope again, and I'm going to subtract here and here. So I've got 8 minus a -4 over 3 minus 1, which should be 12 over 2, or 6. And then I'm going to choose the bigger point this time so you guys see that they come out the same. I mean, it's not going to be the same, but you can see that I'm still doing it the exact same way. So I've got y minus 8 equals 6 times x minus 3. Distribute. Y minus 8 equals 6x minus 18. Add 8. And y equals 6x minus 10. Is there any questions? Is everyone okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and launch the last poll for today. I know. We have to start doing, it's not that we have to start doing this, but I have to start doing it. It is that I have to start doing it. So thank you for helping me with this. So you can write the, what does it say? I can write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form given 2 points on the line. So doing what we just got done doing. Oh, good. Oh, somebody still. So it's only 15 of you answering. Okay, 19 of you. Okay, so